Chandler, the president of Flux.
My name is T.Y. Williams. Guess what? I'm just that guy that like to have fun. I like to skate. I like to be involved in the community, and I want to make sure that as a trans man, especially trans men of color, that our rights are heard and understood. And also make sure that you understand that when we talk about the reproductive system, include trans men of color, especially us, because our voice need to be heard as well. I'm an advocate for trans men of color, especially making sure that our rights are heard. I want to make sure that as a trans man that we are visible. We are not here, we are seen, and the T will not be silent. Trans and non-binary people are the most marginalized and are constantly having their rights and their protection stripped away. I am committed to elevating our profile, our visibility, and making sure that we are seen. Here's how you can hold yourself accountable and do your part by becoming a member of Flux. My name is Tyree Williams. I am a brother, I'm a son, I'm a father, and I'm an advocate. I'm also transgender. See me.
Hi, my name is Taylor Chandler Walker. I'm a member of Flux AHF. Today it's more important than ever to use privilege to elevate voices that for too long have not been heard. I encourage you to become part of a movement to make equality and equity for all.
All right, so Taylor Chandler, president of Flux. Taylor, thank you so very much for joining us. How are you?
I'm good. My pleasure. It was, oh my gosh, it almost brought me to tears seeing that video.
I know. I think it's, to me, I think as we look at not only Pride Month, but there's so many people, individuals throughout our communities whose stories are not being told. And we don't recognize them for, the lives and the challenges that they face. And so I appreciate you bringing that to us today during this month. Tell us a little bit about Flux.
Flux is an affinity group, part of AIDS Healthcare Foundation, and they use their platform to elevate Black and Brown voices through marketing, advocacy, and creating safe spaces where you wouldn't necessarily see the community normally. And, it's all event driven. So it's fun. And it puts us in the community because visibility is so important.
Tell us why, though. I mean, I think, through the video, we heard a little bit about why, people want to have their voices heard. But why is it important to have voices heard?
I'm going to put it right out there. I'm white. I have the privilege of this skin color when I leave the house. My Black and Brown brothers and sisters who are trans, they're Black first. So when they leave the house, that's the first thing people see. And then all these other targets are put on their back. Every year we recognize in November how many typically Black trans people have been murdered. And I'm tired of memorializing people when they're dead. We have the resources. We need to elevate, create equity, equality, jobs, housing, for people that have far too long been marginalized. I often say, it's not enough to just not be racist. You have to be anti-racist. And with the trans and gender non-conforming community, the prejudice that they encounter daily isn't just from white America or white supremacy. It is from their own Black community oftentimes because of, generational, really deep-rooted religious beliefs. And, so it's important for people to see that we are the same. We have jobs just like you, and that it shouldn't be a rite of passage for so many to have to resort to survival sex work just because their education was interrupted. They were put out of their home, they're homeless or at risk. So the visibility to me shows that, hey, someone, you just may not have known it. Unfortunately, no one can say that they don't know a trans person now because of Caitlyn Jenner. But I can assure you that is not a role model for many within my community, certainly not people of color. because there's so much wealth and privilege there. That's no one I know trans story.
Right. You know, it's interesting though, when you talk about particularly the Black community, because that's the only community I know. But you know, a lot of the challenges start, like you said, within the home, within the family. And it's the challenge of family members to understand how to be accepting of something that they think is not normal, right? And so, are you all? Is the organization working also to provide resources for families who also are transitioning, you know, with the loved one? And moving to sort of figure out a way to be more accepting and supportive, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. Actually, you know, I'm the transgender health coordinator for Us Helping Us here in DC.
Okay.
Longest running Black-led org, 36 years. And we provide programming that's completely wraparound. So everything from actual jobs where we place you with community partners, and we provide through a DHS grant your salary, benefits, tuition reimbursement starting at $42,600. We provide support and resources for the family, along with my org. You know, Capital Pride as well as Flux invites the family to come in and be a part of everything, because it's really good to see how welcoming the community is, and they want to help someone go through what is, for a parent, a mourning period. A lot of times they're losing that sense of what they thought was going to be their daughter and a wedding and grandbabies, or for their now trans son, you know, the same things. And you know, we can help maneuver through that. Pflag is another great organization that really is for the family dynamic. And there's chapters everywhere. There's the national chapters, but my organization specifically, you know, we connect you with all that. We don't just give you the resource and say, hey, good luck. You know, we liaison. We make sure that you're connected. And the mayor's office of LGBTQ affairs here has just launched a transgender working group to change the face of what it means to be trans in the city. Because you and I both know, since COVID, you know, problems that have been in existence for generations were amplified by COVID.
Right.
During COVID, I was providing PPEs and food bags to Ward 6, 7, and 8. And it wasn't specific to trans. But then to be trans going through this, it makes it even worse. But, you know, there's so much systemic racism to break down. And, you know, I'm humbled to be able to have a platform and a voice where I can elevate my Black and brown brothers and sisters. And that's what I do. I bring them with me. I don't tell their story. I let them tell it. I just have this unique opportunity to bring them into a space they may not have gotten into on their own.
I think that's really great. And I do believe that, you know, in the past, even when we celebrated, you know, Pride Month or whatever, I mean, it was largely considered, you know, an opportunity for the white LGBT community, and the Black community felt largely hidden. Thus, you know, we have Us Helping Us and organizations like that to really represent those members of that community. So I think it's great. We're running out of time, but what do you have any programs or events planned for Pride Month that we need to know about?
Yes, absolutely. Capital Pride has maneuvered really quickly now that things are opening up, especially on June 11th. We have the honors and after party on June 11th, which will be at the newly opened Compass Coffee in Northwest.
Okay.
It's an amazing space. Then on Saturday, we're doing a walk along from DuPont to Freedom Plaza, followed by the Pride Mobile and cars, you know, more of a lowdown kind of pride compared to what we've done in years past, but everybody can get involved. And then colorful, decorate your business, decorate your home, show your pride, show your allyship. All these things can be found at capitalpride.org. You can sign up. And then on Sunday, it's Pride Brunch with local community partners. But one thing I want to stress, Pride started in the Black community with Stonewall. It was a riot. You know, when Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera threw that glass through that window, that was the start of Pride. And I don't want people to forget that in a lot of places, white people took over Pride, but it started in the Black community. And we have a robust Black Pride here in DC that was this past weekend through Black Equity, Kenya Hutton, Earl Folks. Like it was smaller, but it's great. And there'll be some events specific to Black Pride during Capitol Pride, June 11th to the 13th as well.
Well, we put information out so people can get more information if they're interested, and just for all the other resources, including the job opportunities that you're offering, that I think is really great, and employers need to know about that as well. So I want to thank you so much, Taylor, for being with us, for taking this time, and for doing the work that you do.